Hello everyone from all over the world, welcome back to Valheim. In today's video I've made 4 portals either really close to the deep north or on the deep north, and I wish I took the chance to record before the mistlands update, the area I explored beforehand, and the same thing with the ashlands to be able to show a really good before and after comparison. So in today's video I'll be doing that. This is the before with the I'll be starting from the safest portals to the most risky. And the safest one is actually the furthest away from the deep north itself. It's in the Black Forest. And I made a base here. There's going to be a bunch of portals to the deep north in this spot here. It's close to the water line, but not quite. And it's around some natural structures, so it's going to be a little bit safer. So the other spots are up here, so as long as my base down here doesn't get destroyed, I should still be able to use it, create a ship, and then go explore the deep north over here. So this is like the most likely thing to survive the update, and then I'll show you the other 3. The next one is the second most likely to make it, and then there's the really risky one. And it gets riskier as we go. But the next one is over here, and it's a base I made on the deep north itself. You're in the biome. It will say mountain biome, but it's in the deep north area. So as far as this spot on the map goes, is right here. So there's not much further to the deep north you have till you go off the edge of the map, which I would not advise doing if you have anything valuable with you. But that's pretty far up north. I might even say it's deep north, and I haven't explored hardly this half of the map, so that's going to be great. So I made this area here with a shield generator just in case if the elements of the deep north supposedly are going to be really dangerous with the snow and everything. So I made a shield generator hoping that's going to help. I made it high up in the mountains around a vegosphere that was already here before this, because I noticed in the Ashlands update, when it did update, natural things like runestone structures that were rendered beforehand, most of those areas survived the elevation shift. So I figured this spot's most likely to survive, the second most likely. And then we start getting a little bit further inland towards the beach area of the deep north, and that's where things are going to get really risky. Actually, I should, before I forget, I'd probably edit this out otherwise, or keep it in, I'm not sure. But I thought I'd show you the surrounding area more. I should do that, because once the update happens, it might look drastically different, just like the Ashlands, where so much of that area was carved out by them lowering the terrain or raising the ocean. So yep, see all the area here. You can see the shield is working good. But yep, all this area over here. That's where the shore is. We're not too far away from the shore. I don't even know if we can see the boat from here. I think you kind of can. It's like right there, it looks like. Am I even pointed in the right direction for the boat? No, I'm not. But yeah, boat's over here. Trees are kind of blocking it, but yep. This is going to be so cool to see how much of a difference it makes. For all I know, this could all be carved out and raised up with the ocean, just like a lot of the mistlands was around the mistlands ashlands border. Wow. So I'm hoping this spot survives, because that would be very convenient. It's right central in a good piece of deep north land here. This could all it could also go very well where the whole thing just gets demolished and crashes and everything. I've heard people, when the ashlands happened, I was very fortunate that didn't happen with me. We're gonna go to the next spot. This is the third most dangerous spot, or most risky, which is just further inland. lower elevation, more close towards the beach area. Made a tiny bit of a fortress area or fort here, but not all that, not as nearly as much as the other two. And this is what it looks like here. Still fairly high up, but not as high up as it was before, and more inland. This actually says officially deep north. The other spot said mountain, but it's not all that far away. Mountain's just like over there, that other one where we were just before. But this does say officially deep north on there, whereas the other one says mountain. So I don't know if that gives me better odds or not of that surviving, of making it through undamaged. And then at the end, I'll show you that ashlands one again, just to give you guys an idea of how drastic it was. Yeah, this one is by far the most dangerous spot. It's right on the shore of the deep north area. I got the boat right here, so I'm hoping, if for whatever reason, if this rises, if they carve out the ground and the ocean rises like it did with the ashlands, at least hopefully this will still be intact, and I'll be able to still swim from here to there, hopefully. If I do go to this spot, or when I do go to this spot, I'm going to make sure I have plenty of stamina. But yeah, that's the 4 portals that I got going for the deep north. I'm probably going to try the least risky one first. And then go from there and test out, just like I did in this episode, to go to each one, going from the least risky to the most risky. This one is the original one I had on the old ashlands border, ashlands and mistlands, that I explored this area beforehand. But unfortunately, I don't really have all that much footage of what this area looked like beforehand. I do have some, which I'll try to include in the end if I remember right. But this whole area here was old ashlands ground with a bunch of certlings on here, and then it was right on the mistlands border. This whole area used to be a whole mountain, and I put it inside the mountain thinking that was going to be the safest thing, and it turns out it mostly was. I'm very lucky it survived. I am so lucky, because I heard some people, the whole thing just collapsed and they ended up dying in the ocean and not being able to find their tombstone. But this is what I mean when I say whole areas. I better eat some. Whole areas were carved out here. And it's just magically floating, but it's been carved out, and the water has raised so much. And I had to literally go from island to island, because I haven't beaten the queen at that point in time. So I literally had to go from island to island and make a portal each time. Yeah, I was so lucky and so excited when I went through the portal and it actually worked. I had no idea what to expect, and then a bone moth serpent came up out of nowhere. But there's one of my gravestones right over there. You guys can see it through the smoke there. It's just a little dot. Then of course the interesting thing happened with the mountains with the floating islands. That was also amazing. But yeah, I'm glad I got the footage beforehand. Like I said, I do have some videos of exploring here, which I'll include before, but not a dedicated one like I have today. But I'm so excited. Thank you everybody for watching. I hope y'all have a good day. Bye everybody.